This is the first time you've done this?
Yes. Very excited
All
about this
right. Yeah, me
because,
too. Me too.
just it was fun reflecting on my whole life and
Yeah,
leading up to this, and then
sure.
you know
Yep.
being able to meet new people. I love it.
A better life, better vision, what you wanting? Let's make it happen. Time to choose the better story. Come on. Choose the better story. Hey, choose the better story. Yeah.
All right, so welcome back to another episode of Choose the Better Story podcast. My name's Ryan and I'm the host. This is a podcast about vision, mindset, performance, and purpose. And today in the studio, I have with me Mr. Mr. James Condit. And we are so excited to have you here. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Very
Absolutely.
excited.
Yeah, so for those of you that are just listening, if you're on YouTube, you can see this, but for those of you that are listening, this is the first time that I've actually had somebody come into the studio in a wheelchair. I've interviewed somebody in a wheelchair, but it was virtually. And so we got to hear just a little bit about your story, James. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, who you are. Tell us, give us the nuggets.
Yeah. So I grew up in Paradise. Probably heard that one before.
Yes.
And I live with my brothers and my parents, and a dog. I have a dog too, a red-bone coonhound.
Okay.
He's about I would say like 3 months old.
Okay.
And so he's just a little guy. And my brothers are younger than me too.
Sure.
I have one that's about to be 17 just this week.
Okay.
And then a 15-year-old too. So I'm the oldest. I'm 20. And
Talk to me about Spina Bifida. And
Yeah.
especially for those that might be listening that don't have a clue what that is, what is Spina Bifida? And how has that affected your day-to-day life?
yeah, so spina bifida is, to put it simply, a condition where your nerves are not responding. Not all, but some of your nerves are not responding to your brain. Like, they don't compute. So with me, I know that most of the time, I'm not gonna speak like all the time because I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But genuinely, it's not a cognitive disability. So all of the what is wrong with the nerve system stems from the legs to like your lower body is.
Sure.
So the physicality of it is the most challenging, demanding. I have something that comes with it is something called scoliosis,
Yeah.
which lots of people also have just
Right.
without a spina bifida. So if you it's a condition, if you guys don't know, where your back is curved. I actually have it the worst that it can be
Really?
at the moment.
Okay.
Which is like what 150, 60 degrees. I don't really know, but
Not good.
just like
Yeah.
yeah, don't yell at me, Mom. I know you know. Shout out to you. Anyway, and I think just you asked the biggest challenge that
Yeah.
stems from that. I would just say, being just keeping my energy up, like keeping keeping that sense of, being what I thrive to be, that energy, choosing to, be positive and outgoing, but also just like that sense of needing to take care of myself. That's the biggest thing
Sure.
for me because growing up, I mean, being in this world of disability, they say that you want what you don't have.
I think this is going to be really special. What you got to share, James, is really special today.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for the time that you're here.
Right.
But more, I want people to know, who is James. I don't want people to just associate with James as somebody with spina bifida, somebody that's in a wheelchair. I want them to know the person, James Condit.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, do you remember back to a time, James, where you understood that things were different with you?
Not specifically like a aha moment, like, because it's not, it's not a cognitive disability to where you're trying to kind of figure out things as you go in your own life. It's more of a, you get what you get disability. Like, I was always, I had born with, like, my spine split open, like, this whole thing where my body just wasn't moving right, or like needed extra lifting, or just help in general. So nothing specifically to where I had like this moment of realizing more of what I need,
Yeah.
like, in a big way.
Sure.
While always, figuring out ways to where I need help. And well, it's always a growing process and
Sure.
a learning process with this whole thing, especially because my body has a mind of its own. Me and my brain just doesn't compute with each other a lot of the time, and that's just what comes from this. But yeah, anyway, it's just
For you, it's normal.
I just love learning and growing, and seeing what my body can do, and just trying to be my best self.
So cognitively, you're like 100% with it. It's just you've got some physical limitations that are challenges for you in life.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm curious then about, because for some people, school can be brutal and students can be brutal. But in your experience going to school, what was going to school like for you? Was that a good experience? Was that not a good experience? What was that like?
I had so much fun in school.
Yeah.
I actually had the best friends ever. Like, we would do, I had my wheelchair, obviously, so like races in my wheelchair. We would like be like very theatrical and like do weird skits, and especially in like middle school, I had also the best teachers of all time.
Sure.
In high school too, pretty much throughout my whole life, but just like I had the most friends that really didn't, they, like you just mentioned, saw me for who I was.
Yeah.
And not, lots of the time I've had people who just forget I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful just for like the community I was brought into. A lot of the times it can be very difficult. Also, it's not all sunshine and rainbows because of this disability thing, you're stereotyped a lot of the time in school. Not because people want you to, but just because, the disability people, community just is around each other a lot, just to help each other out, make sure, aides can help you whenever you need them, and stuff like that. So it's definitely a unique experience that I've had at school. Not something that is easy to come upon at times just because of the different environment at times.
Yeah.
But the support has been it's usually pretty great.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So your experience going to school is you loved school and you loved your friends and your teachers were great to you.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever go through a stage in your life where you struggled with your self-esteem?
Yeah, all the time. I still do.
Yeah, still
do.
Something you wrestle with. Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah. It's, it's something I want to be that person that is always going and always achieving. And
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist, or I used to be one. I try to take that out of my mind because a lot of the time with this disability, or like, I have to accept the fact that I can't do a lot of the things, just like anyone with any disability, I guess. But
Sure.
there are things that I cannot do.
What's that like? Accepting the fact that there's just things that you cannot do that you see other people doing. What's that like?
I mean, it's hard, but also you realizing that is also things, and I still have my own like hobbies and interests and stuff that I'm able to do more joyfully and easily than anyone else too.
Yeah.
So I might not be able to do the exact like normal things that people can do, or like say like the popular things,
Sure.
but I've learned that the popular things are not always
The right
the
things?
right things. Like they usually end up creating some type of discourse
Sure.
of some kind. And
Yeah.
this disability really has taught me that bringing like a sort of just levity to um you know my just like my actions and my thoughts.
Sure.
And yeah.
Let's talk about wheelchair life. And do you have you occur to me as somebody that's got a really funny sense of humor. Yeah?
I try. I really try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does any like funny memory
Yeah.
in the wheelchair come up? Like, has anything funny happened that you can think of?
Not specifically,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of joyous moments that have left a lot of funny moments.
Give us an
Like I,
example.
I don't have like a specific, uh, you know, moment that was super duper exciting or funny, but like stuff like wheelchair races, or just like my friends or my brothers just like spinning me around as fast as possible, or just like going to cow skate with like skating around like ice rinks and stuff like that can be scary if they accidentally tip me a little bit.
Right.
And even if I fall or something, just like I was saying before, that support that I have, and just me having really nice, loving, and fun and funny people around me.
Yeah.
That's what really leads to the funny moments.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So
Yeah. What is something, James, that you wish everyone knew about people that are in wheelchairs?
yeah, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be it's okay to let people know what you're feeling or doing, because I would hope that the people around you are very supportive and very loving, and most of the time there will be people, most definitely, that will
Yeah.
want to help you. So just like let it be, and don't let any what don't think don't let what you think is getting in your way get in your way. Just just accept what's happening and make the best of every situation.
Yeah.
I think that any situation you're in is it's all God's plan and God's timing.
Sure.
So you were supposed to be here in this moment.
Yeah.
You got to remember that life is it's life is what you make it, and everything has a purpose.
Yeah, I love that.
my-
Can you talk to me about the word disability? When you hear that word disability, how does that land on you?
Like a rock. Just kidding. No, like a burden, like a big bowling ball smashing my head. No, it's you know, I feel like it's what makes me unique. I feel like it's something that I can say that I've had different experiences because of that, and different it's even giving me a bigger perspective on life and different aspects of life, which we'll go into. But I think that just the way that disability can just affect other people's lives as well as your own. Just knowing that, you can make a difference just from the different situations that I'm in,
Yeah.
or other people with disabilities are in. And can't, like, knowing that you can make a difference is just like super duper thrilling and life changing, and it's just very, very fulfilling in various different aspects.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that have shaped you the most and kind of influenced the way that you approach life on a day-to-day basis?
The campfire was a big one.
Yeah.
The campfire was quite a big one.
James, just for context, because there's people that are listening that aren't from this area, tell us about the campfire, what happened there, and why was that such a big deal?
Yeah, so the campfire was a fire that happened in my hometown, Paradise, California. It's, it burnt, it was the biggest wildfire in California.
Yeah.
And it's, it literally, in a matter of hours, just like obliterated all of the town.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like, we got to Chico, which, by the way, took like 5-10 hours, or not 10 hours,
Yeah.
like
A long time.
3-5 hours.
And why is that? Why did it take so long?
Traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic, because
Yeah.
everyone was trying to get out.
Big traffic
at
jam
the
because everyone was
exact
trying to
same
get out of
time.
town. Yep.
And so, we finally got out of Chico, and, it was just like, well, after like a night or two of, various different places that we lived, we actually first ended up living in our van. We had to sleep in the back of our van.
Okay.
We have a giant, big black van
Yeah.
that we got just like a little bit before the fire. So thank goodness we had it, because I have a family of 5.
Yeah.
Plus we had a parakeet too.
Okay.
That, we're not gonna let the parakeet die.
No, you got to take the
That's
parakeet.
just brutal. So he's kind of freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And but in our big black van, good thing we had it, because at first, everyone acted so fast on getting a motel to stay in, or
Yep.
a house, family, friends to stay in. That we had no room. We had no room in the inn. So,
I think I've heard that somewhere.
I was like, okay, it's like Bible 101. So, we slept in the van, all 5 of us, and after, a few nights of, we got like a motel and stuff, we found out our house burnt down.
Yeah.
Just like, so, like,
Yeah.
after like a night or two, just like, because
What was that like for you when you found out? Because because I lived in an area that, because, they had like these little Facebook maps, they had online maps that kind of showed the burn area. And our house was in a sliver of space that looked like it hadn't burned. But then I got a picture, and it was our lot, and everything was like on the ground. What was that like for you when you found out that the house didn't make it?
Well, first of all, we were shocked. Like, which sounds weird because it's a fire. Obviously, can burn down like a lot.
Yeah.
But just seeing like literally a whole street
Yeah.
completely gone was shocking just because we've actually a few years prior there was a fire as well in Paradise.
Yeah.
2003, 2005,
Right.
somewhere around now. And you know, we evacuated and we just kind of brought we got lucky at that moment. We just brought stuff from our house and then stayed the night in Chico and then came back and it was all good. So we thought, very little of the situation of the campfire
Right.
to where we thought it was the same thing.
Yeah.
So luckily my middle brother Josiah and my dad were, more tough and rough with the situation.
Yeah.
Brought as many as we could. But me and my mom especially were just like, this is like
Just a warning.
a warning.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna survive this. Like, this is not like the end of the world
Yeah.
type of thing. Like, firefighters are really good at their job.
Yeah.
So it's like we've never seen a fire spread as fast as it did. Like, we didn't know it could do that. So I don't think anyone really did.
Yeah.
So
It was
that
the
was
perfect
that.
storm. You had a combination of really dry weather and then really high winds, and then obviously Paradise is full of pine trees and oak trees, and when you combined all those elements together, it went up. It went up really fast. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. What if you feel like you've learned yourself through the campfire? What has the campfire taught you?
Well, first of all, a really cool story happened that led up to really my big aha moment with kind of my thoughts and feelings of what I've learned. So I don't remember the exact timeline, but we had a really nice people. The whole community of Chicos was really loving and supportive, and
I agree.
with us, we
Very patient too, because when you have 30,000 people come down from Paradise,
it's like
they need.
at one time it's kind of like
Yeah, we kind of invaded their space, but
Yeah.
they were very, very gracious and very supportive.
it's with us, we right away, or just like after a couple weeks at least, had very gracious people lent us like a rental to have for a few months. And it was actually like right by the church that, we had this church in Paradise, but my church in Paradise was very quick to act and bring it to a new building in Chico.
Sure.
And this rental that we had just so happened to be there. And we also had just like other family and friends being lent the same. There was a bunch of rentals around that they let us have. So it was kind of like we got that sense of a community just a little bit.
Sure.
Right after, which we were quite grateful for. But anyway, we were in that rental house, and but we were still completely shook. Like, we had no no sense of the future whatsoever,
Right. Yeah.
which is completely new to me.
Yeah.
Because when, you know, like when you're in middle school, and especially around that age, and uh, being like having all the fun, loving, supportive, funny, crazy friends that I had, were all just like coming up with ways to where like we're gonna go to college together, and we're gonna, you know, we wanna start like, we wanna create this, we wanna create that, we wanna create this business, and you know, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden we don't have a future.
Right.
It doesn't seem like at the
Right.
time.
Yeah. Everything
Like,
was kind of stripped, right?
it's just a kind of
Yeah.
strip. Like, at the time, I didn't even know where my friends were. Like,
Yeah.
and so, one day we were still living at that rental house. I think it was like a 2-week thing that we did, or at least a month. And we went to church Sunday night, and it hit me. It just, you know, wrecking ball. I was like, hyperventilating, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, after church, just went in my room and started bawling, crying, totally just like, wondering, like, didn't have my brain, like, didn't understand where life was going, you know, was everything that my life was a lie, like, was it all totally, you know, like, why is this happening, all this stuff. And my mom was comforting me, no one else was in the room,
Yeah.
just me, myself, my mom, dark room, were trying to get through this. All of a sudden, like, this booming voice, like totally booming, big, loud, just like voice came over me. Only I heard it, and it said, "Never fear, for." Sorry, it makes me tear up every time I hear
Yeah.
about
I
it.
can tell. Yeah.
But it said, "Never fear, for I have a plan." And in that moment, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, this is God, because, like, who else would have a plan?
Sure.
And, you know, leading up to that moment, I've always believed that there was a God, like,
Yeah.
but I always thought, oh, yeah, God really does love us. Like, he's not going to let anything bad happen to us. He's got, let me have all these great friends,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I didn't realize that, you know, life can be so despair at that moment, and he can still create goodness out of tragedy.
Absolutely.
Like great
Yeah.
gardens out of graves, or whatever they
Yep.
say.
Yep.
And anyway, I, you know, right when I heard that voice saying, "Never feel I have a plan," I, you know, my hyperventilating stopped.
Yeah.
Like, in an instant, I was like calm. And I kind of knew it was God, but also, like, I didn't know. Like, I've never heard that voice. Like, it was so loud, so demanding. And even I looked around the room, because I was kind of like,
Like, who said that?
I was kind of like my dad's voice. That his voice is demanding and big, and he likes to try to help, and you know, come up with his plans and stuff. So look around, and anyway, I just told my mom, I'm like, I think God just talked to me. Like, that's weird. I don't know. I don't talk about it enough to where I don't think my mom even remembers that time very as much as me.
Yeah.
Because she didn't hear God's voice. That's pretty memorable,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But she probably thought I was crazy. But what? Not now. She believes me now. But at that moment, I'm like, okay, it was God. And anyway, it was just a moment that made me realize that God still cares for me, and it still wasn't easy, and I've never felt like mad at God leading up to that, leading up to the campfire, because it was just like I said, God is just so good. Like he gives me everything that I want and need, and just what really, what really frustrates you, or at least me a lot of the time, is God really wants things to be perfect for your life, and sometimes that does take time.
Yeah.
And as time went on, and life was just gradually getting better, but not like fully, and I had to like wait.
Yeah.
That's when I was mad. I'm like, okay, okay, hurry up, buddy. Hurry up, buddy, old pal. Hurry up, bud. So, but
Isn't that a funny picture of us telling God to just hurry up?
yeah,
Yeah, get with it, God.
but it kind
As if he doesn't have it all figured out already.
of, right. But then remembering, okay, don't be mad. He literally told me he has a plan, right? So,
Yeah, and not to fear, right?
anyway, it's just kind of like, just let him be the author and of your own story.
Yeah.
You still do what you're meant to do.
Sure.
Be here, but just let him guide you.
I mean, that's really special, because I know lots of people who would say they've never heard the voice of God. So for you to feel like you've had that experience,
Yeah.
and that assurance, and especially in a time where it was like despair and your world got turned upside down because of the campfire, for you to hear that assurance, like, hey, don't fear, James, I've got a plan for you. It had to have been calming for you, especially you said it was kind of a commanding voice. It was like authoritative, like, don't fear, I got this.
Yeah. Never fear. Yeah.
That's right.
Don't fear.
Yep. Talk to us a little bit about your faith journey. What has your faith journey been like?
I would say, like I said before, I always have believed. Like I never had that aha moment where it was just like, oh, like that's who created the universe. Like you always need a maker to create something.
Sure.
And so I've always, took that idea to where, okay, like a human who, or a person who came in as human and, created by hand all of us, and like that all made sense to me.
Sure.
But it was really that sense of realizing that, God, tragedy still needs to strike for God to make things better.
Yeah.
So like growing in that way of just like realizing that God has a purpose for your life. That's really what I needed to kind of grow from, and strengthen that muscle.
Sure.
Because especially with this disability, it's like, especially with like not knowing how my body is gonna respond the next day, or
Right.
where I'm gonna be next, what hospital I'm gonna be like visiting next, talking to what nurse next. I don't know.
Yeah.
So just like understanding that, life is up has a purpose. And
Yeah. There's a few scriptures that I'm sure you're aware of. A couple that come to mind would be that you are God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works. You probably heard that one before.
Yeah.
You probably heard the verse that says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I'm just curious, when you hear those those verses and you take into account how you were made, how you were created, spina bifida, disability, and then you got God in the mix there, how would you say you are God's masterpiece?
By being as weird as possible. By being like the most crazy insane. No. I would just say very much just the fact that, like I said before, just the fact that I'm able to, I've heard people say I'm able to touch their lives and
Yeah.
kind of show them a bigger picture of kind of how God can take tragedy and make it worth living and worthwhile.
Sure.
And just like how I'm able to, like with my personality too, just like being able to make jokes out of it. I'm very grateful for just like the outlook God has given me.
Yeah.
Because I can't be. People say like you have a great outlook on life, but I can't say that because without there's someone who needs to give you a perspective on things.
Sure.
Everyone gives you that as
Yeah.
perspective on anything, like, and God has given me a perspective on just like the purpose and the strength that you can go be and go throughout like multiple versions of it,
Yeah.
or versions of your life and stuff like that. So
Sure. So
yeah.
I mentioned this before we started recording, but I'm just going to say it again right now. So I actually interviewed your grandpa a couple months back.
I saw the episode.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really fun episode. And usually when I interview somebody, I'll say, hey, is there anyone else that you think would be a good fit for this podcast? And immediately, just like that, he's like, you have to
Was that
interview.
me?
He said you.
Let's go.
And as you're talking, James, I can see exactly why he thought you would be a great fit for this. I feel like I'm sitting next to greatness right now. I feel like I'm sitting next to, like, this is a special moment. We hadn't met before today.
No.
And
not
your
at all.
perspective on life is encouraging me. It's like spurring me on to go out and live the life that I'm supposed to live. So just thank you for being who you are, because it's contagious. Just like you said, you've made an impact on other people's lives. You're making an impact on my life, and we just met. And so thank you for just your attitude and your perspective, your dependence on God, and your willingness to be used by him, and to understand that like you've got a huge purpose in this life. And so I just want to say I acknowledge you for that, and I'm encouraged.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Especially that I've never done something like this before, so
Yeah.
just like being able to
This
be.
is your first podcast?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Very first, and being here and
Maybe first of many.
yeah, and just like, but just like I'm so grateful for like new experiences and that I get to have, and I'm just grateful for just like the outcome of what God has given me. So
Yeah.
it's all great.
James, do you ever have moments where you're angry with God, or you're just mad because of like the spina bifida and like confined to a wheelchair? Or do you not really have moments like that?
It's tough because yes, I do, but also I feel like just because I have lots of moments, like even more moments than the regular person without bifida or anything like that, to where I need God and I need his strength and I need him.
Right.
I just kind of accept it a lot of the time.
Sure.
In the moment, at certain times and certain things that happen, I'm kind of like, okay, why? Like, but I just kind of, just like having a good relationship with anyone, like
Right.
brother, anyone, you need to just like talk it out. And I'm like, okay, I need to be attentive with them and
Right.
talk things out. And so, yeah, I feel bitterness every once in a while.
Yeah.
But just like realizing that, everything is going to be okay in the purpose. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough just like the purpose of, every day and the purpose of why things are happening
Yeah.
is important because there is a purpose of why things are happening.
Sure.
And you gotta just kind of realize why they're happening. And like I said before, it's very hard for me to ask for help a lot of the time and kind of take a step back and
Right.
kind of just like reflect
Yeah.
instead of just like do.
Sure.
But it's when you do that, you will see like way more than you could if you just like went with what you want. You have to go with
Yeah.
God wants.
Who would you say have been your biggest supporters in life?
Anyone that's able to deal with me, big props to them. Big props to anyone, deal with this guy. But, I, I would say my family first and foremost.
Yeah.
Other than God, we can
Right.
bring him to the side.
Yeah.
He's done pretty good things. But I would, a big, I have a lot, but when you sent me that text earlier asking me that question, a big people that came to my brain are my brothers. I really think that because my brothers are younger than me,
Yeah.
but they still have gone through a lot of the same thing. Like they've
Sure.
gone through the campfire.
Yeah.
They've had to see me like with my disability and kind of figure this stuff out with me.
Right.
My parents can't do it all on their own.
Yeah.
They have had to help every once in a while with my care. And just that motivation that they have for and that joy that they have about life and
Yeah.
just like moving on and just acceptance and just letting it be. They say lock in a lot of times, just lock in and just go and just be the person that you're supposed to be. There are definitely two big factors that have made me realize that, but also just like keep it, keep that mindset intact.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Shout out to you, Josiah and Caleb.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good brothers.
Yeah.
Good brothers.
Oh, yeah.
That's great because
Love 'em.
sometimes when people think of their siblings, I mean, not every case, but siblings can be the people that you tend to like fight with the most, disagree with the most, and have arguments with the most.
That's for them to do. That's for them to, duke it out.
Yeah, but how special is that your younger brothers are, have just been your biggest advocates? That's really, really meaningful.
Oh, man. Yeah. We have a lot of fun moments. We, watching TV shows together, inside jokes, just like, there are definitely people that, this girl choose the better story. They definitely choose to move on and, just like, just be and, they're very, very smart. Like, I'm scary how smarter they are than me at some things. And so just like the perspective that they take on just different things that they learn and apply it to their own life. I'm fascinated by the people that I'm fascinated by.
Yeah.
For sure.
Huh. Is there anybody besides immediate family that has made a lasting impact on you?
My caretakers. I have 5.
5 caretakers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because
Do they just rotate, or they
the
like
help
have a
is-
certain day of the
help
week?
is
Or
the best.
yeah.
Yeah, they rotate. Some have different availability hours, and some so it's but yeah, I have a few in the morning that I have like morning care that I need, and then
Yeah.
some in the night that
Sure.
come
Yeah.
evening that help, and they're just like end up, they end up just wanting to have like a lot of fun. They
Yeah.
genuinely love having a great time.
Yeah.
And they love just like, just love hearing like different stories.
Sure.
I like hearing their stories. So it's just like a good little relationship that we have going on to where we can reflect on each other's lives and like help each other out.
Yeah. Yeah. You had a caretaker brought you to the house today, and my impression was she actually likes you.
I know. Like I said, I commend a lot of people for putting up with my silly self.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they are blessed just as much to be in your presence, for sure. James, how have you seen God's fingerprints all over your life?
How many hours do we have? Just like, well, a lot. Like one story to build that question off of is I had when I was younger, like pre-campfire, all that stuff, I actually lost a function in my right arm. So don't ask why. I don't know why. Like
Yeah.
the doctors don't know why.
It's a mystery.
I had function one day, went to sleep, and then all of a sudden woke up that morning, and I don't remember exactly. I think most of the day we didn't really actually realize, just because I was like being in bed, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of like not that big a deal if I can't move, because
Sure.
I'm not. I can't move that much anyways a lot of the time. But, we went out for dinner, and you know how, like, family dinner, we need to pray, and, like, we need to take our hands out and grab each other's hands and link together to pray. I can only do that with one of my family members because my right arm was not moving whatsoever. And so we ate and we didn't think much of it, but then I couldn't get into bed that easily when I tried on my own. So my mom's like, alright, we're going to, I'm gonna give you a little challenge. So they put me on the ground the hallway of the house that we had in Paradise and put a animal cracker on the floor and tried to get it, and I couldn't. And so that all that to say, that is one of those moments where you could see that God takes nothing, like totally nothing, like
Yeah.
don't know how it happened, like no explanation at all, and can just turn it into just like a miracle, just like
Yeah.
something that just like can make you go wow. And that should have been a big factor on my mindset and
Sure.
stuff like that, but distracted by the fire and all that stuff, right? But there's just lots of moments where like that where I should be right now. I should totally be paralyzed. I should totally be like totally totally just down and
Yeah.
not feeling the best, and I could choose to my stomach hurts a lot of the time, and I'm sore, and I have to keep myself up with my hands all the time,
Right.
because my upper body is jacked and stuff like that. So, just like I said, the mindset of what I have and what God has given me through my experiences just has all been just like total shock factor and total
Yeah.
wonder and grace and
Yeah.
love and all that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. What advice would you give to parents or friends or young people who are navigating a spina bifida diagnosis for the first time, and maybe they don't know how to deal with that news?
Take it easy. There are worse things that people are going through.
Yeah.
I know that's hard to hear a lot of the time because you want to be focused on what, your thoughts and
Yeah.
feelings. But the reality is there are people that are going through wars. You got to remember the wonderful things that God has given you, and just like what friends and family has given you the advice.
Yeah.
Listen in. Don't be so caught up in your own understanding. Just take it step by step. Let it lawn and grow with it. Don't let it take you over.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's really good
Yeah.
advice. Let's talk about some things I know you're really passionate about. And one of the things, you've got James Talks Movies on YouTube.
That's
got-
my YouTube channel. That's
Yeah.
the one.
And so tell us
Oh,
what
yeah.
what is that all about? How did you get into that, and what's it all about?
Yeah, COVID, being bored.
Yeah.
So growing up, I have really been a fan of YouTube. I've always had YouTubers that I grew up watching, and
Sure.
it's like very fascinated with the fact to where they can have fun and like make money. It's like insane to me, and like they're like playing with their friends, and people think that's entertaining.
Right.
So I really wanted to give that a shot, but growing up, I, you know, still trying to find myself as a child. You know, I have a bunch of random crazy videos of just like nothing, just random fun things that I've been doing with my friends and stuff. If you go far enough back on my channel, very cringy, weird videos of me doing nothing. But you know, after a while, especially after COVID, I being stuck at home, having nothing to do, just realizing my love for movies
Okay.
and like experiencing just like the how movies can show like different aspects of different people's lives
Sure.
or different ideas or different
Yeah.
themes. I really wanted to like discuss that. I really felt a love for like discussing the meaning of movies and just like my experience watching them. So I created this YouTube channel. Well, actually, I already had the YouTube channel. It actually was first called James the Man.
Okay.
I don't know why. I thought
Because James is the man.
I thought full of myself. What can I say? I thought, okay, that's a cool, like, fun Mr. Beast type of name right there. But no, I'm like, that's cringy. So, and then I'm still kind of experimenting with what I want. But then I just got so into this movie thing. So,
Yeah.
James Talks Movies, and I just, I try to update as much as I can on there, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just
So you like kind of, you watch a movie and then you critique it? Is that pretty much what you do?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. What are like 3 movies that you're like, these are my favorite movies?
3. My top 3 are Titanic.
Okay.
I love Titanic. It's my
such a good movie.
favorite movie
Yeah.
of all time. I also really like The Lion King
Okay.
quite a bit, and a really, really underrated movie. It's called Wonder.
Yes.
It's like with Owen Wilson and Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's about like disability,
Yeah.
like we've been talking about this whole time, and
Right.
kind of the
That is a good movie.
outcome of all of that. And
Yeah.
anyway, it's so yeah. I would say those are my
So
top.
would
three.
you say Titanic is like is your top movie?
Yeah, it's kind of tied with the Lion King,
okay.
to be honest. But
Our family was talking about this a couple weeks ago, like our favorite movies. And I didn't say it was my favorite, but I just said I've always really liked Titanic, and they like made fun of me. So I'm so glad I got somebody that can be in my corner on that.
gotta beat someone up. I see. Who's got beat up? No.
Yeah. What is it about Titanic that you? What is it about the storyline that you like?
Well, first, about the storyline, I just really like kind of what we've been talking about this whole time too. Is you gotta live every moment to the fullest, because you never know like when it's gonna take a cold fall. You never know when the ship is gonna sink.
Yeah.
Ship is gonna sink. I
Yeah.
can't talk.
Right.
But just like the idea of when you have Rose, who is very high end and very high class and has all this stuff, just like we had during the fire, but then realizing eventually none of that really matters.
Yeah.
Like there's more to life than that. And then you have Jack on the other side of the spectrum, where he has absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But he realizes that, life, the different experiences from life is what makes it interesting and fun, and what you can build from nothing. You can build from just ideas, and, it's very human to where, having these two people coming together, having different things to learn about life, and just like building off of that, and just like, and then not to mention that like it looks beautiful too. Like just like the boat, the big giant boat, like the effects for 1997 is like incredible.
Yeah.
And like the big grandness of the ship, and showing that that this is their whole lot, the big grand adventure.
Yeah.
And then you got the romance in there with Jack and Rose.
Sure,
You got
of
the
course.
action adventure. I like movies that have like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I think that adds a little bit of everything, but still well.
Well, James, I don't often bring my family into this podcast, but
You have one?
but I am going to right now, and I'm just gonna say, hey, I was very vulnerable a couple of weeks ago when I shared with them that I really liked the movie Titanic, and now a movie critic is validating my choice. And so if
boy.
Jessica, Jackson, and Gracie, you're gonna have to deal with James. Like we're talking about like a real life movie critic. He knows his stuff, and he's saying Titanic is up there. So I feel very good right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, I feel so much better. James,
If you took nothing out of his podcast, watch Titanic.
Yeah, it's that Titanic's a good movie. That's right.
Yeah.
You see here the theme of the podcast is choose the better story.
Yeah.
When you see that phrase, what comes to mind for you? Choose the better story.
I would say, just like I said before, just let the author of the story be the author of the story, which obviously is not yourself, because you don't know the future, you don't know where you're going with life, you don't even know what's going to happen the next day, or how your body is going to even respond for some people.
Yeah.
So you just gotta just take life as it comes at you. It's a line from Titanic. And you have to just be open to new experiences and take those new experiences, because you don't know where that's going to take you. So
Sure. That is so good. James, where can people find you? Are you a social media person? Where can people find you?
I'm very social media.
Where can they find you?
If you like TikTok, if you're on the TikTok, I have all things good and cool on TikTok with a cool guy emoji. You have to put the cool guy emoji, of course. And James Talks Movies on YouTube. And James Condit on Facebook. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All of those, I try to, share my love of God, but also, like, bring in my movie content and just, like, try to share my whole self.
Well, James, thanks for spending time here today with me. It's been good to get to know you. Again, like I say, I feel like I'm sitting in the presence of greatness right now. Just appreciate your perspective, your attitude, and the purpose in which you are living your life. That is, at the beginning, I said this podcast is about vision, mindset, performance, and purpose. And I hope those of you that are listening have gleaned a little bit about the purpose aspect, because James is living a life of purpose. When, quite honestly, you could at any point decide to have a bad attitude, and you could at any point decide to feel like the world's against you, but you have just focused on the silver lining, seeing that God's fingerprints are all over your story, and you are here to make a difference in this world. So I just want to acknowledge you again for that. It's really, really exciting. I typically, and I'm really glad that you mentioned the idea of letting God be the author of your story. Because ultimately we're not in charge. We're not in charge. God's in charge. I use a phrase, and it's funny because when I use it, sometimes people in the religious community, they kind of have a hard time comprehending it. And that is that you're the hero of your own story. And that doesn't mean you're the author of your story. It doesn't mean like you're the one that's fully in charge. What it means is your choices allow you to basically project what your future is going to look like. And so, James, I just want to acknowledge you that you are the hero of your own story. And I would also say you're the hero in other people's stories as well. And for those of you that are listening, we probably encounter on a regular basis, we either see them or walk by them, or they roll right by us, people that are in a wheelchair, and they didn't ask to be there. They may not even want to be there, but it's possible that a hero, when they roll by you or you walk by them, that a hero is actually sitting in the wheelchair and they're actually living out God's purpose for their life. And so
I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So James, I appreciate you spending time today and just sharing your story of who you are. And I'm grateful that you are choosing the better story in your life. And everyone, we will catch you this next week. Go out and choose the better story today.
Peace.
A better life, better vision, what you wanting? Let's make it happen. Time to choose the better story. Come on.